Hey everyone, and welcome to Referencing 101. I figured that making a video explaining what's going on here was easier than trying to explain it in a written document. So the plan of action for this video is I'm going to show you how to choose your style of referencing, how to add a reference, both an in-text reference, in different styles, everything you need, what in-text referencing is versus your reference list/bibliography, how to correctly reference images, and to footnote or not to footnote, that is the question. So the first thing is your style. At St. Peter's College, we use Harvard in most of the departments for our referencing, but please check with your teacher in charge to see if this changes. I know certain schools and certain fields of study have different kinds of referencing, but in the humanities, we tend to use Harvard. And now, we are going to learn how to add a reference. So you are going to click the References tab in the top of your Microsoft document, and we are going to be mainly focusing on the citations and bibliography piece here. So we are going to select Style. There's a whole lot of options here. We are going to select Harvard. This is the latest Harvard referencing style, so it is the one that we will choose. And then I'm going to just move this up a little bit so that you can see. So we'll start here. This is a sentence. So when I write, I typically put a ref at the end of the sentence before the full stop. I might highlight it in yellow if I really need to come back and reference this, but I encourage you to get into the habit of referencing while you write, because it is a lot easier to do, and it also means that if you forget a reference, it's not the end of the world, and you don't have this embarrassing ref in your essay that your lecturer then circles and goes, where is the reference? So we are going to add a reference. So we go to Manage Sources, New, and I am going to add a journal article from my Theory of Education textbook, which I have in front of me. So let's do this. So our author is P. Black. The title of the article is Nature and Value of Formative Assessment for Learning. This is actually a performance. Is it? Is it not? Okay, let's go journal article. We're not going to use P Black. Let's instead use S Dark. This is a book chapter, book section. There we go. Title. Book title is Formative Assessment in the Secondary School Classroom. Yeah, 2005. Pages, doesn't say here. City, London, publisher is Harder, Murray. Editor, there is no editor, and the title is Chapter 1, Creating a Learning Culture in Okay, so there we go, close. So we've added our our reference. I'm sorry, guys. I had another plan for this. So here we go. This is our sentence. This is a sentence. Clark probably didn't say this in the article, but we reference like this. I'm sorry, this is very awkward. So when we paraphrase an idea or a sentence by someone else, we reference like this. So we say what we want to say, but we reference at the end of the sentence to show that this is not an idea that we had by ourselves. We may have put it into our own words, made it more easily understandable, or linked the idea to what we were arguing, but it is not our idea. So we reference like this. So if something is paraphrased, even if you've worked it into your own words, you give credit to the idea. And we do this to make sure that we honor intellectual property, but also to back up our argument. Because if you have a reference of 3 or 4 people who have had the same idea as you can prove that it's a good idea or a sound argument. Cool. So this is a longer sentence with a direct quote. Harry's heart gave a horrible jolt, a test in front of the whole school. So this is a direct quote from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and I need to reference it as such. So I'm going to go insert citation, and I'm going to add J.K. Rowling here. I've already added this into my citations to save some time. So we've got this citation. We can see that it's a citation through references and not just typed because it goes gray. What we can do now is we can left click edit citation and add the pages. This is relevant in some circumstances, especially when you are direct quoting, because someone needs to be able to go and find this. And then we add a full stop at the end. So we've got this direct quote from J.K. Rowling, and now we've given her credit, all is good. We now have a longer quote, which I need to reference properly. So we go insert citation, J.K. Rowling. I'm going to add the page numbers. This is just across the page. So when you have a quote that is more than 3 or 4 sentences long, use your discretion. We need to indent it in our essay to make it stand out. So you go to the search bar, you type indent, you click indent, there we go. Then um, then you go and you decrease your indent and you carry on writing your essay. So you have part of your essay, you have an indented quote that is referenced properly, and then you carry on writing. This looks neat and it makes more sense. Okay, cool. So let's just say blah, blah on conclusion of whatever you are writing. And we are now going to add our bibliography or our reference list. The difference is that a bibliography is things that you've just looked at and gathered ideas from. A reference list is things that you have directly referenced and talked about. To play it safe, I would say that you use either references or works cited. I prefer references personally. So what you're going to do is in the top here, you're going to click bibliography, click the down arrow, click references, and there you go. Your reference list is now perfect according to the Harvard standard. Everything is in the right order, and it makes perfect sense. So you don't have to type all of this out by heart because Microsoft Word will do this for you. It also updates automatically if you add more sources. So if I add a new source, let's go to JK Rowling. I'm just going to type here to show you how it updates. So now what we do here is in the top, you can click update citations and it'll give us our nonsense example that we added. You can delete sources just by erasing them, but I would prefer to go to manage sources, delete. And then you just update. Okay, it seems to like that one, but you can remove it like so. So that is how you reference. This is the difference between a reference and a bibliography. This stuff in your writing is your in-text referencing, and it's very important to get it right. Now on to how to reference images. So I have an image here. So here's the Mona Lisa. I'm writing an essay on her. I'm going to copy image and I'm going to paste her into my essay. I'm going to change the format to do this just because it's easier. So how to reference images properly. We're going to go references, insert caption. So it'll say one, but that's not what we want. So we're going to delete that and we are going to go and check here. So if you check on Wikipedia, they normally give you all of the information that you need to reference your image properly. So we start with the artist. So Da Vinci. Name of the artwork, the year, 1503 to 1506. It is oil on wood. The size is 77 by, what was it, 53? Yeah, 53. And it is currently in the Louvre. Okay, it is the Louvre Museum. Okay, so that is your empirical data. We are now going to add accessed on 6 May 2020, and we are going to copy the link that we found it. You can also include all of this information in your reference list, but that'll depend on your grade and how stringent you need to be in your referencing. But what this is doing is it's telling us everything we need to know about the artwork, and we can see where you found it. So that's how you reference that. The final point that I have is to footnote or not to footnote. So let's say, for example, I want to add a footnote to my blah blah paragraph. The easiest way to do it is to go into the search bar and add footnote, and then it just adds it in. So we've added our footnote here. So a footnote is an additional idea that you don't want to include in the paragraph, but you still want the reader to know. I personally don't enjoy footnotes. I find them to be rather lazy writing. If you can't include an idea in your paragraph, then you need to rework the paragraph. Certain types of writing really, really enjoy footnotes, but in the humanities, I would encourage you to avoid them, especially as they are prone to disappearing in certain. If you edit your document or the document goes to too many people, sometimes your footnotes can disappear. In my honors thesis, I actually had to rewrite half of it because my footnotes had disappeared in one of the back and forth between myself and my supervisor. So footnotes are your preference. If you would prefer to reference using footnotes, you may by, again, using the citations. but I think that in-text referencing looks neater and shows that you know how to reference properly. My final helpful hack for writing and referencing and stuff is Wikipedia. So you have been told since you could walk that we don't use Wikipedia. And the reason for that is that Wikipedia is editable by anyone. So I could go in here and say that Elon Musk, his son was born the other day and his son has a really silly name. I could come in here and say what I think about that. Someone would fix it and edit it back, but it is editable. But what you can do, you can see these footnotes, you can click on them and come to the sources. So let's use the first one. So we'll open this, and this article holds the information that was mentioned in this point. And if you click the up arrow, it takes it back. It takes you back to the top. So this to reference comes from this article, and it wants me to subscribe. Just my luck. Okay, let's go find another one. Let's do. So open the link in the new tab, and you get access to the sources that Wikipedia uses. Please don't use Wikipedia as your only source. There are so many amazing things on the internet. I also really encourage you guys to get a hold of books and journal articles and actual physical things for your research, because they do tend to have a bit more gravitas than things you can find on the internet. So I hope that this helps. I hope that this makes sense. Please feel free to get a hold of me in the comments, pop me an email if you have any questions or you need me to help you make sense of this. Yeah, my apologies for the awkwardness. I could have been better prepared, but it is what it is, and it feels more like a lesson from me. So I hope you enjoy, and good luck.